You've probably seen the ads, right? Make real money online just by clicking around and taking a few surveys. Well, today we're going to dig into one of the biggest names in that game, TimeBucks. We're going to see if their promises actually hold up in the real world. And this is where it all starts. This one line from a popular guide is the hook. It makes it sound so simple, so achievable. $50 a day. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's the kind of promise that really grabs your attention. But that's the big question, isn't it? What's the reality hiding behind that big, shiny number? What kind of work are we talking about? What are the risks? And can a regular person actually pull it off? That's what we're here to find out. Okay, so let's dive right in. First things first, let's look at the promise itself. What exactly is TimeBucks putting on the table for you? So for anyone who's not familiar, what is TimeBucks? Well, it's what they call a Get Paid To or GPT website. Think of it like a marketplace where companies pay for your time and attention. And to be clear, it's a legitimate platform run by an Australian company, it's totally free to join, and it's available almost everywhere. And this chart really lays out the potential they advertise in all those online guides. For beginners, they're talking maybe $2 to $10 a day. But for the so-called advanced users, that promise just skyrockets to between $20 and $50 every single day. So the big question is, how on earth are people supposed to be hitting those numbers?
Which leads us perfectly into our next section. How do you actually make the money? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of it.
Now, what's fascinating here is the massive range in what you get paid. Taking a survey might get you up to $5, which sounds pretty decent. And these offer walls, where you might download an app or sign up for a service, can pay as much as $25. But then, look at the other end of the spectrum. Clicking on an ad pays you a tiny, tiny fraction of a cent. But here it is. This is what's pushed as the real secret to unlocking those top earnings, the referral program. According to TimeBucks' own official info, you get a 10% lifetime commission on everything your referrals make. The guides claim that if you can get a team of 200 to 300 active users under you, that's when you can start pulling in that $20 to $50 a day, almost on autopilot. So there you have it. That's the big promise. That's the number everyone is chasing. And then there's the reality of the grind. 1/10 of 1 cent for a single ad click. And here's the real kicker. One review actually did the math, and the calculated hourly wage for doing these basic tasks came out to just 36 cents. That massive, massive gap between the promise and the reality is everything. All right, let's say you've put in the hours, you've jumped through the hoops. Now, how do you actually get your hands on that money? Here's the roadmap to getting paid. First, you have to hit a $3 minimum, which is actually pretty low, so that's good. Next, you have to verify your ID. Once you're approved, payments go out automatically. But there is one last little hurdle to consider. And that last hurdle is fees. Yup, depending on how you get paid, a chunk of your hard-earned cash can just vanish. PayPal takes a 4% cut. Litecoin hits you with a small fee if you're cashing out under $5. Some methods, like Skrill, are free, so it really pays to read the fine print here. But honestly, the low pay and the withdrawal fees, they aren't even the biggest risk here. Not by a long shot. Now we get to the big red flag. This right here. This quote from a user review, it says it all. It captures this horrible fear people have. Just imagine it. You spend weeks, maybe even months, grinding away, building up your earnings, only to wake up one day and find your account has been shut down right before you cash out. And this isn't some rare, one-off thing. This is written directly into TimeBucks' official policy. If they decide you've done something they consider fraudulent, any money you haven't been paid yet is gone. Forfeited. End of story. So what gets you banned? Well, according to their own help center, it can be things like giving sloppy or random answers on surveys, trying to make a new account after you've already been banned, or really breaking any of their other terms of service. They have a zero-tolerance policy. And this is the part that you really have to hear. TimeBucks is crystal clear that these decisions are final. If they ban your account for fraud, they say they will not even consider an appeal. You have absolutely no way to fight it. So when you put it all on the table, the big promise, the harsh reality, and the huge risks, it all comes down to one simple question. Is it actually worth your time? Okay, let's just weigh the evidence. On the plus side, the fact that it's available almost anywhere is huge, especially for people in places with fewer online earning options. There are a ton of different ways to earn, so it's not super repetitive. And that low $3 cash out makes it feel like you're making progress.
For someone who just wants to earn a few cents here and there with zero commitment, maybe it works. But then you look at the cons. The pay for most of that work is incredibly low. There's a very real danger of your account getting banned and losing everything. And even if you get paid, fees are going to take a bite out of it.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought, a question that only you can answer. When you weigh the tiny potential reward against the time you have to put in and the very real risks involved, what is your time really worth?